Greetings, this is Edward. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a low poly house with Blender Python API for the website. Before we begin, quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day. It's usually around 2 p.m. Eastern. So the posted articles are on ojambo.com. You just go to the watch menu, the live sub menu, you will see all the upcoming articles. And for the live stream, you're free to join the live chat, and topics are programming, only lifestyle topics are perfectly fine. And the channel where you can join us, as you can see, is right here. The link, you go right to that for that video. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. A lot of you have subscribed this month. Thank you very much. Keep it up, and it motivates me to keep on creating content such as this. Okay, with that out of the way, let's continue with this tutorial. So we're gonna create a low poly. That means it's gonna have it's not going to be too complex. For example, as you can see, if you really think about this, is simply just a cube, and it's just a triangle here, and this could be, maybe shrunken cubes for the door, for the window, and underneath here I added some vertices, so you can add faces. So it's really basic stuff. Obviously, you can also add textures later on. We'll probably do that in a future tutorial. Those are probably better to be done using manually, doing the manual instead of using Python. But if it's something simple like this, yeah, we could definitely use Python. Okay. So then for the web, we're going to use the model viewer, and we're going to use a plugin. I think there's 3 plugins you can use for the web, for browsers. As of the time of this recording, there's no browser that supports the model-viewer. The reason I do that is because I could do this using WebGL or WebGPU. The problem is not all browsers support them, at least the WebGL 2.0 and WebGPU. Not everybody's going to use a GPU, so that's why it's better just to use a plugin, or just get some help. There's nothing wrong with writing less code because you used somebody else's open source plugin or software. You shouldn't beat yourself up having to code everything by yourself from scratch. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. You have better time. It's better to use your resources for something else, maybe contribute to that plugin. Okay, now here's the code for the Python script, and I will show you that right here. So as usual, you always, let me zoom in here a little bit. There we go. You import the Python Blender Python API, and then you don't actually need to do the OS. I like to do the OS because I like to create a blend file, and I also like to put everything relative to where the Python file is. That's why I use the OS, but you don't need to. So the first thing we do is we delete all objects. Usually, this at the time of this recording, Blender has a default cube, a light, and a camera. Now in the future they might have different things, so we want this to be slightly future-proof, meaning that's why we delete everything. If we need something, we can add it back on our own. I also find it easier if you start from scratch. When you add your own, you can pivot them or rotate them exactly the way you want, especially with Python. Okay, and then we create the material here. So if we go scroll down a little bit more, as you can see, there's different materials. The walls are blue, and there's a white material for the doors and for the windows, and there's a brown material for the roof. So that's why we have 3 materials here. And then after that, we create the meshes for the house floor. And then we create the 4 walls. You see the front wall, back wall, the left wall, and then the right wall. That's simple enough, simple math. And then after that, we create the roof. We just make it a mesh. It's going to be a cone, and then we have 4 vertices. The radius is set to 4, depth is 3, and that's a location. So that's our roof. Then we rotate it 45 degrees. If you don't do that, it's going to be sunken into your house, which is you don't want unless you're going for that look. And then, as I said, there are smaller cubes for the door and for the windows as well. The only difference between the doors and windows, as you saw, is that the windows are much smaller than the door. Now we could use different materials as well, and I said we can actually do that in future tutorials, but I want to keep this really, really simple. So there's 2 windows, nice and simple. And then after that, we parent everything to a house, so we call it house empty. So that way we can rotate the house instead of having to rotate each individual item. It's just easier to parent them to something which is the empty house. And as you can see here, we parent all of them to the house empty object. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to set the origin of the whole house to the center mass, center bounds. Then after that, we're done. Now we just save the blend file. As I said, when you / it will save it relative to where the file is. In this case, it's the Python file, so I want it to save it in the same folder. So remember why I use the OS, so that way I can get the absolute path and basically relative to where the blend file, the Python file is, and then that way I'll be able to save the blend file. And then after that, we do the same thing for the, we're gonna export it as a GLB. If you don't know what GLB is, that's part of the that's the binary part of the GLTF. So we export it just as a GLB file. It's the GLTF. It comes. You can export it as two formats. One is a JSON, which is just plain text, and the other one is a GLB. Now, so we're done with the Python. I'll show you the Blender file in a second. I want to finish up with the coding part first. So here is our HTML file. I see basically HTML. We have the doc tab. We have the HTML. We don't need the language here. Charset. I don't need this because I'm on Linux. It's UTF-8 by default. And the viewport, I put the device width to an initial scale 1.0. The reason for that is if I want to do this, I want to check it out on a mobile device. I want it to scale evenly. Okay, and then after that, we get this title. I put the title as low-poly space house space in space 3D. And after that, we'll put a script with it. There's a module, so we get this module from a CDN. Basically, it's the model-viewer.min.js. So the min part means that it's been minified, meaning that it will take up less space. And after that, I just do a little styling. So the styling is not needed, but basically for the model view, I just made it 100% of the viewport width and 100% of viewport height because there's nothing else there except for this one where it says low poly house model. Then for our viewer here, the model-viewer, see the source is going to be low-poly-house.glb. That's the one we saved in the Python file, or exported from the Python file. I gave it an alt tag. Alt tag is just low-poly house, and the attributes I gave it is auto-rotate space camera-controls, and then close off the model viewer tag, and that's it. So now I'm going to show you. So then to run this Blender file. Basically, as you can see here, it's just simply on a terminal you type blender space -b, or if you want to type the full name, it would be 2 hyphens and background, and then it's space -P, or if you want to type the full name, it's hyphen Python, the entire word Python, lowercase, and space, and then the path to your script, your Python script. So then what that will do is it will generate both the Blender file and the glib file, and I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to open up the terminal here. So I just type blender -b lowercase p, that means it's going to be running in the background, then space -P, and then what I'll do is I'll type space low, what did I call it, low poly, why is it not showing up here? Where am I? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Of course I am. Okay, so that's why it's not working. So go to the tutorial Blender. Okay, what in the world? CD. Okay, let's clear this. Now it should work. Blender space hyphen lowercase b space hyphen capital P space low poly hyphen house dot py py. That's my Python file. So it's going to, as you can see, it's going to run this. It's done. 2 seconds. Okay, so now that we're done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the blend file. I'm going to open it up just to prove it to you. So here's the blend file that was created. So I'll open up the blend file, open with Blender, just so you can see it. As you can see, it created the house for us. This is our house. The reason we can't see it is because by default it doesn't use the proper shading. So this is the shading here. Now before I show you that, I want to also go to the scripting tag. Here's the scripting tag. You can also dump the click new, and then you can dump the Python script here. Now the reason I like doing this is because the GUI is open, so it uses more resources, especially if it likes to use the GPU as well. Right now I'm recording using OBS. Well, I'm using OBS, which is it's a resource hog, so that's why I don't like to use that. So let's go back to the layout here, and what I'm going to do is, see, by default it uses this viewport shading display in solid mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this one, which is viewport shading display in material properties mode. So I'm going to click on that, and as you can see, now you can see our colors. I can rotate this. Oops. Zoom up again, and I'll rotate it. I'll just use this guy. You can see here. Now there you go. You can see our door, our windows, and everything here as well. And you can see this one, house empty. That's the parent of all our. You see, and here you can see the back wall, door, front wall, house base. You can see the house bases here, the left wall, right wall, the roof, the window, and window 2, and obviously where's the door? Yeah, there's the door as well. So that's it. Nice and simple. So I'm going to close this. We don't need Blender anymore. I'm not going to save it. And now what we need to do is we need to go back to the command line, and you can use the Python server. It doesn't matter what server you need. I'm just going to use a PHP server. So I'll just say localhost, and is it 8,000? Yeah, I'll use 8,000. So what I need now is I'm going to use Chromium. I'm going to open up Chromium browser. Okay, here, and then I'll just type HTTP 8,000 / low poly hyphen house.html. That's the HTML file that we created. And as you can see, I'm not even doing anything. It's auto rotating because it's using the model hyphen viewer HTML tag. So as you can see, there's a camera control, so I can rotate this house. I haven't done anything yet, but I'm going to do now. You can see this. I can rotate. You see the bottom there, and I can rotate it top, bottom, right, left, right. See, I can go fast. I can go slow. Okay, so I do have a chat from Birat Raj. Hello. Hello there. Thanks for the chat. Yeah, so that's it. You see how quick that was? I simply created everything in Blender using Python. So I didn't have to model this at all. I just did everything in Blender. So obviously I hope to do slightly more complex things like characters and everything as well. So there you go. You see, nice and simple. So you can make, obviously, thanks Virat. I hope I said your name correctly. Yeah, so there we go. Nice and simple. Just a low poly house. So these are the type of things you'll be able to do if you get my book, Mastering Blender Python API, which is available on Amazon. Alright, so that's all I wanted to show you guys today. It's a nice little trick. So you can make your own models using Python and obviously Blender. So Blender draws all this stuff for you. And then you can view it, this is a little web browser. I can put this on my website. And you can actually, you can actually play with it yourself. Just like that. See, it's nice and smooth. And you see very low coding. Oh, cool. So Virat said he's currently doing Java. And you said my name right. Oh, good. Glad to hear that I said your name correctly. Okay, so I hope to do some more Java tutorials coming up soon as well. I think I'll try to do one before the end of this month. Oh yeah, Python. Oh, great to know you're learning Python as well. Python is actually a very good language to learn because it's very popular with the AI. But I said it's not just for AI. Obviously, you can see like Blender uses it for plugins and its API. A lot of things like, for example, the GIMP, Inkscape, a lot of open source software. They do use their plugins. Plugins are usually made with Python, or their UIs are made with Python. So Python is good. Is a good language to learn. Because the problem with Java is like Java is kind of heavy. You need to have the JVM, so something like Python or scripting language is actually easier to learn and more, I find it to be more portable as well. Okay, so with that said, let's finish up here. Let's see what we can go. So as I already showed you how to rotate, zoom and pan and all those as well. So you can also zoom in. See, I zoom in as well. I forgot to show you that. So you can also zoom in. As you can see, I'm zooming in here too. And so if you're new to programming and 3D modeling, or want to design or deepen your knowledge, I have a couple of resources that can help you get started with and master Python programming and Blender scripting. For example, I have the Learning Python book. It's available on Amazon. Links are also in the description. I have the Mastering Blender Python API, which is a book, also on Amazon, and links are also in the description. So once you're familiar with Python basics, this book will guide you through using Python for scripting within Blender, allowing you to automate tasks, create models, and much more. And I also have a Learning Python course. It's available on ojamboshop.com. Links are also in the description. If you prefer a more interactive experience, check out my Learning Python course, where you can get step-by-step guidance, including from me. Now, if that's not enough, if you actually need more additional help or have specific questions about Blender scripting, Python, or any related topic, I offer one-on-one tutorials, whether you're looking to learn the basics of programming or need help with more advanced topics like Blender API scripting. I'm here to help. Feel free to contact me for personalized Python tutorials. So there's lots of ways you can contact me, obviously on ojambo.com/contact, on ojamboservices.com/contact. You can just post a comment under the article or the video, and I'll get back to you as well. Alright, and these are the screenshots. So I'm not going to spend too much time on screenshots because you guys saw me do this in Blender, and also this HTML file here running. And this is the live stream. So I do as many live streams as I can every day. So I'm going to stop that. Okay, let's finish it up. So in conclusion, this tutorial shows how to use the Blender Python API to create a low poly house and display it in your web browser using the model viewer tag. Whether you're a beginner or intermediate programmer, this step-by-step guide will help you get started with Blender scripting and web 3D models. Let me know if you need any adjustments, and happy coding. Great. So as I said before, I do a live stream every single day, usually about 2 p.m. Eastern time. There's different topics. You simply just go to ojambo.com here, as you can see, and then you see this under the watch menu, live sub menu, you can see these topics for upcoming tutorials. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, with that said, I don't see any more chat requests, so I am going to end this live stream in a second. I'm just going to send a message to Berat here. Hello, Berat. Hope you have a great day, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Oh, you did. Perfect. Okay. All right. So hope you have a great day. All right. I just changed my message. Thanks, Bharat. Okay, I'm gonna end the chat now, and I'll see you guys in the live stream for tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.